Fish in the news. I figured this would be an interesting segment to just talk about what's going on in the news, because a lot of the time people will ask me like, hey, talk about this thing that happened recently related to fish. And I don't know about it because I don't read or keep updated with stuff like this at all. But maybe I should. So let's pay attention. Fish leather is here and it's sustainable and it's made from an invasive species. We're making fish leather out of lionfish? No way. That's pretty sick. Assuming it's done sustainably and they're like actually catching them in a way. I don't know how you could do this. I don't know how you could do this in like a mass production kind of way though, right? You would for sure bycatch and cause more problems than you're solving. Fish and game mishap at Anchorage hatchery leads to death of thousands of king salmon smolt. What happened at the hatchery? Incident that occurred here, we lost 25,000 salmon smolt. High water levels caused the pools to overflow, caused poor water visibility. The oxygen levels depleted. Okay, so they just completely ran out of oxygen at a hatchery and all of their smolt died. Damn, rip the smolt. Lake drought in Chile. I always thought that would be cool. If you were like live near a lake that dried up sometimes, but like very rarely, and it was like filled with fish. This is a thing, doesn't this happen in New York? Don't they drain the Central Park pond in New York City during the winter? I feel like I watched a video once upon a time where they like drained the pond in Central Park and then someone found a bunch of like fish by the drain. Maybe I've been clickbaited, but I think this is a real thing. Hold on. Find fish Central Park drained. New York City. I swear this is a real thing. They don't. I live there. Okay. Well, I must be wrong, but I swear at one point I watched a video where there was like a drain of a pond that they had drained in Central Park, and the dude just scooped a bunch of fish that were stuck in it. I wonder what that video was actually about now. I've been clickbaited. Fuck. Someone watching the YouTube video will know. You guys, there's not enough people in Twitch chat, but someone watching the YouTube video will know. I was like looking up how to find minnows, and there was this video. I swear this happened like a year ago. I watched this video. It exists. It's out there somewhere. Fish mafia. Okay, there's a fish mafia. Good to know. Are we in the fish mafia? Wait, that's what I should call my audience. Wait, but then I might get the real fish mafia after me, and I kind of don't want that. Large study found a strange link between eating fish and skin cancer. Am I gonna say crazy that this is probably a p-hacked study? This has got to be a p-hacked study, right? There's no way this is a real thing. So a p-hacked study, if you guys don't know, basically, think about it. When you write a scientific paper and you want to check if two things are correlated, you know, one thing goes up when the other thing goes up. So let's say, what happens when you eat a lot of fish? And you get a bunch of people who eat a lot of fish, and then you test them for 100 different things. Now, if you were testing them specifically for just skin cancer, and that, you know, there was no actual relationship, the p-value that we commonly use is 0.05, which means there's a 5% chance that it happened by chance, which is a pretty good one. So if you were testing for just one thing, there's a 5% chance that, you know, you would have done it wrong. Those type of papers would have, you know, false results. But if you test for 100 different things, all of a sudden you have, on average, 5 different results which show up as true but are not. So that's called p-hacking. But yeah, this also could just be the fact that eating mercury, which is in wild fish nowadays, would, you know, just cause cancer. I mean, yeah, if you drink the liquid from a thermometer, I assume you're not going to have the best time. Makes sense. Hooked while fishing, here's what you should do. I don't know, don't hook yourself. That's actually impressive to find a way to hook yourself. California court rules bumblebee is a fish. We talked about that. Indiana fisherman discover sex toy inside 20-pound catfish. I'm not going to pull that up, but that is a wonderful headline. Thank you. Today is the last day to fish for free in Washington. If you live in Washington and want to fish, go fishing. It is crazy that you can't just fish for free. I guess it makes sense. You need a fishing license. Even I need a fishing license. Even though I just catch and release fish in my net with a hand net, I never use a rod and I'm in the stream myself. I need a fishing license. I mean, no one's going to call me out on it. I'm in like a fucking middle of the woods backyard stream. There's not going to be some like fish and wildlife person who's going to arrest me, but you technically do need it. Fish cannibalism rare in wild. Actually, I'm interested in that. I feel like fish cannibalism, in my experience, is pretty common. Mosquito fish and guppies, though known to be cannibalistic in captivity, are extremely unlikely to be cannibals in wild settings. That's interesting. So I guess cannibalism is more common in fish when they're in captive environments than in the wild. Here are the TSA's rules on whether it's okay to take live fish on a plane. Surely you can't take I have to know now. Surely you can't take live fish on a plane. Can I bring on board the live fish my kid won? This one is ultimately up to the discretion of the TSA officer. A live fish in water and a clear transport container is allowed after inspection. Jesus Christ. That's a ridiculous thing that you can do. They don't allow me to take like soap bottles above this big, but someone can take a live fish. My service fish. Dude, what was it? Someone had a ridiculous service animal. I can't remember what it was. Was it a service peacock? I saw a video of like someone getting on a flight and the person was walking a peacock down the aisle with a leash or something. You know, as a service animal. I don't remember if it was a peacock. It was something like that though. Where someone had a ridiculous... It was a peacock? Wait. Service animal peacock. It was a peacock? Peacock. A service animal now is only defined as a dog trained. Emotional support animals such as birds, cats, rabbits, and yes, peacocks no longer have that designation and are subject to airline pet policies. But at one point they weren't. And you could bring a peacock on your flight as an emotional support animal. And it was a real thing that happened. Oh, NJ.com. See, this happened near me. I knew this happened in New Jersey. I thought for a second I saw it, but I didn't see it. Just ridiculous thing. How electric fish were able to evolve electric organs. I feel like that's probably going to be too sciencey for me to care right now. Fish off the coast of Florida test positive for pharmaceutical drugs. No fucking way. They got the cod addicted to narcotics. Bonefish off the coast of Florida have tested positive for a cocktail of pharmaceutical drugs, including antidepressants and blood pressure medication. Are people just dumping blood pressure meds and antidepressants in the water? And then the fish are eating them? Dude, the fish have never been so happy. Their blood pressure's fixed and they got antidepressants in their systems? Holy shit. Classic Florida. I'm sure it's everywhere, but it is exceedingly funny that they had to choose a place for the study and they decided to choose Florida. $7.6 million in grants to support imperiled fish species. I don't know how much 7.6 mil will do, but hey, money towards imperiled fish species. That's cool. 188,000 fish euthanized in Idaho fish and game effort to reduce disease. The fish contracted a viral disease called infectious hematopoietic necrosis. I do not know what that is. On June 1st, approximately 188,000 rainbow trout were euthanized after they contracted a disease called infectious hematopoietic necrosis. There are no treatments for fish that contract it, so the best way to stop an outbreak is to prevent the virus from spreading is euthanasia. Interesting. What is this virus? I don't know this virus. It sounds like something I should know. Negative sense, single-strained, bullet-shaped RNA virus. Chinook salmon disease? Oh, I've heard of Chinook salmon disease. It's going to tell me anything. Clinical signs: abdominal distension, bulging of the eyes, skin darkening, abnormal behavior, anemia. Okay, so all the signs of like a nothing special. These are all the signs that you would see of like a diseased fish in general. Mortality is very high in young fish. Well, that sucks. I wonder how it got into the... It's in the same family as rabies? Wait, really? The Rhabdoviri family? Rhabdoviridae, which is the rabies virus? Holy shit. It's a rabies virus family that attacks fish? That's interesting. I've never heard of it before. It can't be very common, but apparently it can spread pretty big. Accidental discovery that scallops love disco lights leads to new fishing technique. Isn't this how they've caught squid for a while? I feel like I remember reading that Humboldt squid are caught at the surface by just shining a bunch of bright lights on the surface, and all the squid come up and they're like, oh my god, the sun, and then they just catch all the Humboldt squid and eat them. I might be making that up though. That's kind of sad. Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to talk because I do it with moths. Dude, whenever I want to see a cool moth, I just put a lamp in a bucket. If you guys want to see a cool moth, don't do it often because you'll disturb the native moths. But take a bucket, put it outside next to an outlet, and then just put a lamp in it and plug it in and turn on the lamp. If you put something for them to land on, they won't like run into the light over and over again and hurt themselves. They'll just land there and stare at the lamp. And then when you turn the lamp off, they're like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? 10 days pass, and then they fly away fine. But you get to see all sorts of cool lamps. I mean, moths. Fish crimes in the global oceans. Wait, hello? What crimes are fish committing in the global oceans? Wait, there's an entire article on fish crimes? This must be part of the fish mafia. Oh, it's about illegal fishing. Why did I actually think that the fish were committing crimes? Fight mosquitoes with free fish. Oh god, mosquito fish propaganda. All right, we'll end this with mosquito fish propaganda. Mosquito fish are bad for the environment. Studies have shown. Okay, let me explain. Once upon a time, we had mosquitoes everywhere. Mosquitoes like to lay their larvae in still water where they grow up and then become mosquitoes. And everyone hates mosquitoes, of course. So, when we found out that there's a fish that eats mosquito larvae in the wild, aka mosquito fish, we decided to put them everywhere. Like everywhere that there was a mosquito problem, we now fill with mosquito fish. But here's the problem. Studies have shown that mosquito fish will eat literally everything except for mosquito larvae. They did a study where they did a list of priorities of what a mosquito fish would eat. And out of all of the various food sources, their very last choice when given the choice was mosquito larvae. They would choose literally anything else first. So what happens when you put a bunch of mosquito fish, really fast reproducers, in, native environments is they just eat everything, spread insanely fast, and have huge populations. Mosquito fish are everywhere. They're so common. The eastern and western mosquito fish in the United States, any still water anywhere is just absolutely filled with these fuckers because we thought we could deal with the mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes haven't even gotten better since we did it because they're not even that good at eating mosquito larvae. The mosquitoes are just laying their eggs in vernal pools. It's ridiculous. People never learn. True. People do never learn.